Hello everyone, welcome back to one of the fresh episode of Grow with Anshuman. Today, again, we have one more guest, Sushmita, with us. Welcome, Sushmita, to Grow with Anshuman. How's today going so far? And could you please briefly introduce yourself because you are being here for the first time? Would you mind to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I need to introduce myself. So, this is Sushmita Rao. I'm from UP, district Gazipur. Talking about my qualifications, I have done my bachelor's in science, BSc. Currently, I'm studying about only English. I don't want to pursue any post graduation. I had already dropped my idea. So right now, I'm just trying to indulge with English, and apart from that, I love to read English story and kind of watching English movie and creating story. These are my hobby. Talking about my goals, so I really want to become fluent speaker and sort of YouTuber. Yeah, that's all about my journey, and I think my
Lovely,
goals.
lovely, lovely. You told
Yes.
your introduction very precisely, and there you mentioned a lot of things. I believe that everybody's introduction should possess that from your dream, your inspiration to your hobbies. So that's good to have that. So when did you complete your graduation, Susmita? Like this year or back then,
Okay.
or 2 or 3 years back?
No, I have completed my graduation in 2024 in April. That time
24.
it's been 2 years. It has
Okay.
been. So I was very worried about that. Okay, what should I do? That what kind of course I pick? So there was many questions. It was going on, but I decided to join an institute to learn this language. But I was not getting any environment. I joined an institute, but there were no any speaking classes were going on. So I was a little bit feeling awkward because I was not able to speak in English, but my teacher was speaking. So I thought to do online. So I started creating my YouTube channel and I indulged myself in English. And I thought, okay, this is my career. This is thing I really want to do. I can make my future through YouTube, through my English. I can be a trainer upcoming my life. So yeah, I believe in it.
Got it, got it. So you mentioned that you joined an institute and you didn't find any environment there because only trainer was
Yeah,
able to speak, right? That was the reason you left that and you started with YouTube. And I believe that it would be hardly 1.5 or 2 years you're continuously making
yeah.
content on YouTube. How is it going so far for you?
So it's going really well for me because it's been not 1 year, I think 6, 7, 8 months when I started uploading my video. I
Okay.
created in 2025, February, March, but I uploaded 2 videos. Then I stopped making video. I was just checking it that, okay, it would be nice if I keep doing it. So when I started watching some videos, so I got inspired by them. Okay, if I keep uploading, so it would be better for me. If I keep putting in the back burner, so maybe it would not be possible. I'm not going to make it better. So
Correct.
I decided to go with that, and yeah, it's really good for me.
So back then, once you got this thought, okay, I'll have to improve. You didn't get the environment in that
Yeah.
institute. So is starting a YouTube channel with the intention of learning this language because we know this concept of learn in public was there, or you were always been very clear, no, I'll have to be English spoken trainer, maybe I'll have to be a teacher, coming up. So that was the intention. What was the intention of running a YouTube channel since day one?
Mm. Yeah, sure. So what happened that time? I just wanted to speak in English, I made up my mind in 2025, I have to speak somehow at the rate. So I decided to be not trainer, I just wanted to be fluent. So I was telling myself I'm going to new revelation for this journey. And
Okay.
at the end of the year, 2025 year, I'm going to speak in English. So I have done the way I was expecting to happen, it happened because I was very consistent. But then I started uploading my video in, I think 7 and 8 months ago. So then I thought, and it realized me that, okay, I can be a trainer, I can take classes one-to-one session, and I can make money. Yeah. Could you give me 1 minute?
Yeah, yeah, please.
Yeah, sorry for interruption. So, yeah.
No problem.
Okay, so I was talking about, yeah, that time I was not thinking when I was uploading my video. But
Right.
after 2 months, 3 months later, when I got my confidence level, when I got over, so I realized why not? I can do it. I can make money through YouTube. I can also be a trainer. I can teach someone, and this is my life. I do not need to go into science, math because I'm not into it. So it's very hard for me. It's not my party to do and to crack any kind of interview, be an government job. So I don't want to take. I just want to make money. Like, I don't need that much, but I just need to fulfill my dream. Yeah, that's
Lovely.
enough for me. Right.
I really like your clarity,
Mm,
right? People in such a young age are very clear about what they actually wanted out of their life. And
yeah,
I think just because you have taken that step ahead and you just took a resolution to work on one single thing after your graduation, I think that really turns out well in your case, right?
yeah.
Lovely, lovely,
So
lovely.
even I believe it. Yeah, it would happen if I keep doing it. It's all about consistency and your decision.
Right, right,
Yes.
right. And why I'm really, wonder to know this. Why only English? Because there are so many things available in the market. Even in this cosmos, you can go for art, you can go for anything what you want. And I believe that if you have opted the science, so majority the society thinks that the science student have, the above average range because they can go for any kind of government job. They can either opt for any career they want because they are the brilliant mindset as per the society norms.
Yes.
So, why did you choose English over all those societal norms? And how did you get this clarity that, okay, I'm someone who can earn money from that and who can fulfill their dream from English spoken journey?
Okay, so you know what happened that time? I was not good at science and math. So I was very good at reading part, even I was not good at grammar point. But when I wanted to speak in English, so I learned grammar first. Then I decided to go in the IT sector. It was my dream to, learn about grammar, not grammar, I think IT sector kind of software engineer and learn Python. So I was there, I was thinking to take admission, but when I started learning this language, my mindset has already changed. Okay, I want to be a fluent, I want to speak, and so I'm very clear about my thoughts. What I want to do, I will do it. So this kind of clarity, it came. Once you mature, something like it happens that you can get to know about your future, what is the best thing for you. So I choose, even my teacher were telling me where I was taking classes for my English. They, for the very first time when I sent my video, my English video to them, so they were suggesting me, you can make a career into this. You do not need to, run behind for everything like science. Many people, they are doing their B.Ed, BTC, and it's not my cup of tea. So they were understanding me and they were suggesting me you can do it. If you are starting your YouTube channel and if you start studying and I think teaching some people, so you will also get there. So just be consistent. And then I tried and I made up my mind. Okay, I can't do anything about science, math, and it's not my future. I have to make my future in this field, English field. So it would be better for me because it's my passion. I really want to learn. And yeah, and it became my second nature to learn this and to get there.
Amazing,
Yes.
amazing. The more I'm talking to you, I'm getting the mindset of yours because you are being obsessed now these days to learn this language. And that's how I
Yeah.
believe that over 6, 7 months you had been seeing this amazing growth in you in terms of spoken English. How come just going a little backward, you mentioned that once you opted for science, lately you realized that this is not cup of your tea or you were not good at this. When did you realize that I'm not good at science or exactly you were not enjoying that process is what you meant?
Okay. So after taking admission in BSc, that
Mm-hmm.
time I didn't have idea of, which kind of course I should have done that time. But after taking admission after 2, 3 years, I realized why did I take admission? I just wanted to go in IT sector, but it couldn't happen because at that time I was not that much mature. I was taking it lightly. So
Mm-hmm.
my friend took admission, so then I also thought, okay, let it be. Let's go into this. Then after completed my graduation, I realized no, it was not my dream. If I did it BCA, so maybe it would be possible to go in MCA.
Right.
So then I thought like I have two options. I can like I'm very into computer field and English. So after that, I thought, okay, let's jump into the English because I had been learning this language for many years, but I was not speaking. I started 2025. Earlier, I was working on grammar,
Mm-hmm.
vocabulary, expressions, and idioms like phrasal verb. But I was very afraid to speak in English. If I'm going to speak in English and they are going to pull my leg? So then I realized, no, there is no any big deal. If you want to speak and become a fluent speaker, so you have to jump into the kind of situation, then you will get over your fear. So I decided to to let my fear go, and it would be better, so I did it. And then day by day it realized, okay, this is my career, I can make my career, even I can take admission in a kind of IT sector, I can make more money. But after creating my YouTube channel, so my thoughts, everything, it has changed. I'm very clear about it, what I want to do, that if I keep consistent, so it would be possible. I can make my dream true. So
Amazing.
this is a sort of
Got it, got it.
yes,
Again, I think the clarity you get from the decision where you made, like, this is what I'm not gonna do because I'm not enjoying the process, or even you were not that good and you felt at a certain point of time the realization and the awareness was the
yeah,
one thing was really meant good to you. And I believe this is the fundamental of taking any decision, right? If we know that what is our
yeah,
strength, what is our weakness, even more obsessed with what do we like to do, right? And I believe that's what you choose right now, that you're gonna have full time into English spoken journey that really turning out to the well. And the kind of progress I can see, I'm assuming that once you have this started, because you are having only the fundamentals of grammar, maybe good words, maybe phrases, but you would not be able to speak so fluently as you're doing, right? But after putting six
yes.
7 months of effort, you are able to do that. So let's jump to the fundamental things, that if you'll have to tell your younger self, Susmita, that if someone is there, they had decided, all right, now I'm very clear like you why I wanted to learn this language on the very fundamental level, what would be the first thing you're gonna do?
Okay, so talking about English only or other skill?
Yeah, English only. Let it be focused on English because you have achieved such a great achievement within 6 to 7 months. I think many more learner can
Yeah.
learn a lot of things from you. So let's play around this only.
Okay, okay. So first thing what I did in my journey when I wanted to speak. So first, I was aware of everything. Tenses, grammatical, not error. Like I was very not good on grammatical error, and I started writing. And I started journaling in my diary. Then I was making a lot of mistakes. Then that time I learned some grammatical things like tenses. It's very important part. Then I started watching some cartoon video was there to learn this language. And I believe this was my first, I think, a phase. You know, I didn't know how to start my conversation with other person. So I started watching some cartoon video. So they were providing like how to convert kind of where are you go and what is your profession, what do you do for this. This kind of video I used to watch. Then I got some point. Okay, if I want to ask something to someone, so I can reply and how I can reply them and how I can question to them. So this kind of were like listening part I was watching and I was getting whenever I used to talk to anyone, I was getting fumble a lot that time. So I was thinking, how can I get over? So I used to use applications, kind of Google Translator. Whenever I was making mistake, I was figuring it out on the spot. And deliberately, I was trying to, put out everything, my expressions, phrasal verb, tenses. So yeah, in that way, I did it. So in first stage, we need to, learn some tenses and try to go with basic one. You do not need to go to B1 level and A2 level. It's not going to be perfect. First, we need to watch some video and try to watch 2 and 3 times. That I do. I prefer to watch one podcast for 1 week. That helps me a lot. I do not need to write down everything like expressions, phrasal verb, words, vocabulary. So
Right.
when we watch one video for 1 week, so you are not going to forget it. It
Correct.
will remain in your long-term memory. So I do, and that was my initial phase. Right. Then I started doing it a little bit with consistency, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and it turned out to be 1 and 2 hours. So I realized why we not to do every day. So it will make huge difference. So whenever I watch my video and whenever I compare my video with the previous and current video, so I was very confident. I was very underconfident that time. But talking about now, so I'm becoming more confident day by day due to camera. Even I started recording myself for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I was done on camera. I was just speaking whatever I had in my day.
Got
So
it.
I was trying to put something different. So that made me fluent, I feel like.
Lovely. So I think
Yeah,
understanding
that
with,
was the place.
correct me if I'm wrong, that starting with fundamental, as you mentioned, with small sentences, watching videos of YouTube and trying to implement more, because if you will watch 1 hour video and didn't able to implement it faster, probably you're gonna lose it, because it is well said that use it or lose it. So the thing, the sentences you're gonna use more, you're gonna learn it more faster is your also one of the key concept, that how did you do this within very
Yeah.
short period of time, right? And lately you were indulged in many more things. You were watching cartoons, you were doing, engaging in all aspect of a language, right? That's where you made your journey so faster. Like even I remember earlier, the first 6 month was really devastating for me, because I was just struggling to introduce myself, just breaking down that barrier, that how to introduce myself. So I really appreciate you that way, that you are a quick learner too. However, just one more additional question to this, that if you wanted to suggest or remind one mistake, what did you do in last English conversational language journey, then what you would prefer student not to do that, because it's very important part. If we know from your experience that what major mistake did you do in your journey, then probably the learner who has been there, they're starting their journey, they can ignore that and they can also speed up their process of learning.
So in my perspective, what I was like I'm experienced right now. So earlier I was like I was not aware. So what I was doing, I was trying to give my introduction part to in a very not brief. It was a broader. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought to if we are going to introduce ourselves, so it would be in a nutshell. We do
Correct.
not need to put everything in just a 1 minute we can introduce and go ahead, but sometimes it happens we are beginners so we don't know the things, but if we consistent every day so it would be subsided over time. But it happened to me and I used to use chat gpt that time. Okay, what is my level and where I'm making mistake. So whenever you feel that okay I'm not doing great and maybe some mistake are going on, so
Mm-hmm.
we need to go to chat gpt and ask. And if you are founding, I think if we are finding some mistake and where we wanting to refine our words, so go and check it your label and try to find out something better, and it would be icing on the cake and in your next conversation. And I think so this is the biggest mistake many learners they are doing. We do not need to put everything in a small introduction,
Lovely.
and it would be subsided on the, I think, over time.
You
And I
mentioned.
used to make a lot of mistake in my first conversation with Minipuri ma'am. I think it happened. So
Got it. You
there
really
was a lot of mistake.
highlighted very good point, because I have heard this quote somewhere that you would never get a second chance to make your first impression. So always you'll have to have start with your introduction, and if you're not sure, if you are not clear, if you're not precise about your introduction, that probably you would
Yeah.
never get another chance to feel you important in the whole conversation. And today you really made your introduction so structured, precise. I think you are the live example that how someone can begin the conversation. Lovely, lovely. Just moving further,
Yeah.
I would like to know, Sushmita, since you this time you would be also realizing that you are a good position where you can interact with any of the learners out there, you can communicate with very ease, right? Irrespective of their age, gender, and all those things. So right now, where you're focusing on now, are you shifting your focus from learning this language from wider aspect of communication, means to say that your body language, gesture, posture, or what is the main important focus area you are focusing on these days after having a good communicational or
Okay.
spoken English?
So these days I'm trying to focus on my body gesture and hand gesture. Apart from that, I really want to speak with a fluency, and I do not want to. I don't want to I don't want to wrong my kind of pronunciation. I'm working on it. Because it's very important when you are going to speak with a native speaker and you are going to make a huge mistake. Many people, what happened? Many days ago, I found a girl and she was speaking, and I think she was not aware of the right pronunciation of alarm. So she used alarm, and she speaks very fluently. So I suggested you need to watch some video. If you watch any podcast, so you will get. You are not going to make a lot of mistakes. So these things,
Correct.
I'm very, I'm very kind of serious whenever I watch any native speaker video. So I try to listen carefully and try to speak again and again. So this is giving me clues, subtle clue to give more. I'm not going to make a lot of mistake while speaking because sometimes you can realize up to a point you will feel that your pronunciation, the word you are pronouncing right now, it doesn't look good because
Correct.
you had already at a certain level and you are speaking wrong and the pronunciation it's not right. So you can realize and you can go and check it on ChatGPT. Otherwise, people they are going to make you fun maybe even if they are not going to show you, but sometimes
Right.
it becomes very huge mistake, and later we will realize, okay, what I was doing in that video, what I spoke. So we need to talk about and figure out some pronunciation. We need to do that when we watch, so we can get it.
Lovely. I really like the mindset again because whatever position or the English spoken fluency label you're still looking for what next, and that is pronunciation. I get it. And just wanted to know briefly that how exactly you're working on pronunciation because, having said that, we have coming from different background, especially Indian people do have their mother tongue influence, MTI, right? So do you feel that we can actually overcome this empty, and actually do we need to do that? Why we should sounds like native speaker, why we should sound like American speaker, why do we need to sounds like British accent people? So do you feel that what is the commonality and how can we overcome that? So start with the, do we really need to overcome this?
Okay, so earlier I was not aware of tongue twister.
Okay.
I used to watch some video of Rahul Dun. He's also a famous YouTuber, I think
Mm-hmm.
so, on this platform. So I was thinking that okay, it would be difficult for me because I didn't know what was the process of it. But I think later I realized how can we fix our pronunciation, our MTI issue. So I found that, one video, and I think I forgot her name. She is also popular. She was talking about tongue twister. If you have your MPI issue, so you just start uh, reading tongue twister 3 times, 4 times, one tongue
Okay.
twister and two tongue twister every day. If you do it for month and month, I think 3 month, 4 month, constantly, so it would be subsided and you are going to speak fluently. And this is the best way. I do it every day. I try to read story for 10 minutes and 2 minutes because I really want to speak right way. I don't want to make a mistake. So I think that reading tongue twister word 3 and 4 in a day, it would be good for you. It would good for you. You are going to make it better if you have issue with your tongue.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got
So
it.
you
Got
can
it.
fix it.
By tongue twister revising again and again because here your tongue will be practiced in that manner and it will be tuned so that you can pronunciate any of the word. Is that essence of
Yeah.
using tongue twisters?
Yeah. Like it would be trained, if you do it regularly. Because I took us like I take session with my friend, so we both are very serious about tongue twister. Even reading story, a short story for 1 and 2 minutes, and I feel like okay, we are very good at. We follow 1 week, 4 and 5 tongue twisters, so that's a better idea for every learner. They can do that. Yes.
Lovely, lovely. Love the insight you have given, and that is really practical. And I believe the learner who had watched this video till this, and I just saw the time, it's already been more than 25 minutes,
Okay.
and we were so much
We
into the
didn't even
conversation.
realize.
Yes, 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 that
Yes.
we forget that how time flies, right? And before ending the session, I would like to ask one actionable insight from your side, which every learner who had watched this video till here should take it from, because I believe on practical learning people have watched so many YouTube videos, read so many books, but they haven't learned anything out of that. So tell at least one thing they should start following from day to day after watching your our conversation. So what would be that one thing they should start implementing just after this video?
No, in my perspective, they can start, even if they're beginner or like kind of fluent speaker. So they need to start tongue twister. Every day they need to read a story for 1 and 2 minutes. It would be great for them. And working with the tongue twister. Apart from that, I believe that recording your own video, practicing with your camera, with your phone camera, it will be good for you. Like I realized when I started doing it, so I was very afraid, but when I started doing it regularly, I felt like okay, I'm not getting afraid. Day by day, I'm becoming confident. Even I'm able to hold the conversation. So
Correct.
they can do three things like tongue twister and reading a story and try to record yourself and try to watch your video one and two time. And if you feel that you are making mistakes, so just try again. Yeah. So you need to do that. They didn't even start.
Lovely. Again, even not the clarity on the aspect of your life, the answers you gave were really concrete. I believe all those questions what I asked, you gave a very good answer. You gave the examples, and lately you also summarize it, what people also got out of that. And I really appreciate that. So again, Susmita, thank you so much for your time and consideration. And I would like to have one more conversation on your channel since you already
Yeah,
mentioned that we
sure.
can have. So thank you again for your time. By the way, before ending the session, I would like to know your feelings that how did you feel about this conversation? Did you feel that it
So
went well, or it could be had
yeah,
been
that was
better
a
someday?
very enjoyable session for me, and I enjoyed a lot. And yeah, and it was a very attractive. Maybe people they are going to watch it till the end. So I hope. And yes, I would like to have a session with you for my channel. So
Sure,
I'm very happy to meet you. So yeah,
sure, sure,
it's
sure, sure. We'll catch
yeah.
up very soon. Thank you so much.